Baldwin, Saunders, nice and flat, comes to Craig Holland, now the gaps are coming, Ben Howard finds Cokanasiga, he'll go over the try line. Henry Spencer, you called for points, and those are some points. Phil Cokanasiga, he's back into the squad for the first time in a couple of games, and that is a great way to mark your return.
Great play from Rosslyn Park there, using the decoy runners really well to hit the players out the back, having gone direct.
Here's Holland. Cokanasiga, now there's 4 on his right.
Oh, great feat.
Cokanasiga, he's got Ben Howard for support, but he doesn't need to.
Oh, what a try.
This way, that way, and only forwards for Phil Cokanasiga. 2 tries in the space of about 2 minutes. Cokanasiga charging through Chinnor right now.
Not bad at all from Phil there. Unbelievable footwork. I think I've actually noticed his brothers here today in the crowd as well, watching.
Ball is grounded. He's got it.
Let's come out there. Has stopped. Walsh goes all the way out. He's finding Oscar Heaper. Will go over the line.
Yes.
Has he done it? Yes, he has. They push and he squeeze Rosslyn Park to the middle of the pitch until Oscar Heath had enough space to get out into the corner. Saunders goes short to Flashman. They're playing the basics. They're doing them right. Austin Hay coming in at the back. He has it in hand.
Right shoulder now to Park.
Now he's going round.
Starting to move.
Advantage coming as well. There's a break on the side, and Austin Hay has done it. He certainly loves to find the try line.
I think he's racked up a few tries this season. Yeah. Cumulative metres of about 5.
Yes! Come on the side.
Going to go straight to Will Millett. They've got to be really careful because there's space on that outside, and Chinnor are going to go over the line.
No, they're not.
No.
Touch.
Has it just gone out? This fixture has always been defined by millimetres between these two, and once again a big moment defined by the narrowest of margins. Park is doing really well. There's a breakaway from Millett, and he's managed to find a gap through Park. This is a huge moment for Chinnor. They're going to go into the corner. Well, Chinnor have been knocking on that door, and finally a little crack, and it comes blowing down.
You thought after sustaining all that pressure, you thought that Parker got away with it. It's a good strike. Missed.
And it is missed. Well, Park are clinging on by their fingernails to that lead. For the first time in 2.5 years, Rosslyn Park beat Chinnor. They have put those demons of the past to bed, leave Chinnor with a bitter, cold feeling of what might have been. Rosslyn Park can rest, knowing they're probably their biggest challenge of the season so far has been prevailed successfully. Never in doubt, was it?
It always seems to have these nervy games against Chinnor in the history we've been playing against them since they came into the league. But at the end of the day, the boys grinded it out. There's a few bumps and bruises out there because it was going to be a physical game. They had a lot of experience. They played the field really well in the second half, which I think we did in the first half, and that was probably the story of the tour. And thankfully, we come away with 5 points.
Blinding start by one person in particular, Phil Cokanasiga. What a start from him.
Big old Phil, yeah. He's coming blossoming of age, shall we say, and he's getting week by week with us. Better.
Phil, congratulations on the win. I said another 6-1 on the bounce. What are your thoughts on that?
Real good. I thought Chinnor came here to play, and we had to match that. And I thought our forwards did. Again, our forwards, when it's the games, us backs just determined by how much. So I thought we did that. Yeah.
You certainly got it started off in a great way.
Yeah. I just saw space and I just thought I'd take it. But yeah.
What's that down to? Is that something that comes in a training ground, or is that something you just got to think? You just got to go.
Bits in the training ground, bit natural instinct, but anyone would have taken that space. I was just lucky to have the ball. Yeah.
Going into half time as well, Chinnor sort of came back towards the end of that first half, but what were you thinking as you got into the half time, when you were thinking about what you're going to say to the players?
I think it was quite clear, really. We started quite brightly. We were playing some great rugby. We played the field pretty well. The reasons they got into our half and got 2 scores in that first half was through our own ill discipline and errors. And I think then in the second half they knew they could control the field with the wind, and we struggled to exit. We were probably our own worst enemy at times, and we talked about the mental game of how we approach things and trying to keep our energy high, and we had to at times. We probably had a few more D-sets than we'd like to because of our own errors, and hopefully and thankfully at the end the boys were able to dig in and grind out and trust that defensive system that we have to be able to get the win.
We talked about it, grind out certainly seems the word, especially when that try, when Oscar Heath looked like he was going over and then that flag went up. How did you feel?
Yeah, slightly relieved. I was just checking there wasn't anything trickling down my legs. But no, listen, it's going to be small margins in games of these, mass games like these. So realistically, to come away with it and grind it is great, and that's the consistency we're looking for of getting those results, because you can't be 100% every week, not in National 1, not with 28 games or whatever you have to play consistently week after week. We weren't at 100% today. We had a big game last week at Crawley away. We came here, we got our 5 points, we got the job done. We'll walk away from that and we'll start looking at Cambridge quite quickly.
How are you enjoying National 1 life at the moment?
Enjoying my time, especially at Rosslyn Park. I've been around a few clubs on loan before, but I'm really enjoying my time here at Rosslyn. They're a good bunch of lads, very inclusive, and they welcomed me early, and I loved it here.
How does it help you in your development at London Irish and the academy?
As a young player, I think just getting used to the contact, hitting bigger men, hitting larger men, and you definitely get that here. You get a lot of big boys, as you saw at Chinnor. But yeah, just getting used to hitting boys. But yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Looking on the broader spectrum of things, obviously first time beating Chinnor in 2.5 years, it's 6 wins on the bounce now. What have been the big changes in this Rosslyn Park side this season for you?
The boys themselves, really, their attitude towards it, their brotherhood that they're creating, the journey as we call it we're going on this season, and I think through the time of COVID that group got really tight together, and we had a few more individuals that's made it better, and they're a good group to coach and a good group to be around, and I think that sort of brotherhood is bringing them through games like today.
And Henry told me your brother was here.
Well, yeah, he came to watch. Yeah, he's been coming to a few games, but yeah, he was here to watch. Yeah, he lives close by, so
congratulations.
Yeah. He said you could do it better, but but yeah, it's alright.